I don't want to do like it's been done once. All right. We're now recording. So,
Oh, no? All right, good evening, everybody. We're gonna start our regular town board meeting. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2026. The time is 7:16 PM. We are at the town hall in Maplewood. Roll call
Kevin Gillis,
here.
David Samuels,
Here.
Lauren Eaker,
Here.
Tina Schmidt, here, Larry Huber,
here,
myself, Teresa Plahash, Andrew is here, Tony Sorensen is here, Julianne Bain. Yep. Karen Strohstein. Josh. Robert Sagers and Christine Reed. Yes.
Okay. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Verification of public notice.
Our meeting was posted on our town website, at our town bulletin board and in the news office.
All right, agenda presentation. So I have one thing that I would need to strike is item number 19. The annual meeting followed by the monthly town board meeting, so that we should strike off of here. Other than that, I did not see anything.
why is that?
Well, the annual meeting was tonight.
That's the end.
Followed by.
That was a typo.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, right, yep, I got you.
Otherwise, that's good.
So I have a motion.
Move to accept the agenda as stated with that correction.
Second,
All right. David has made a motion to accept the agenda as presented with the one correction, second by Lauren, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that would carry. Approval of meeting minutes from March 23rd, 2026, which have all been emailed to us. So I'm assuming everybody looked at them ahead of time. I myself did not see any thing on there.
likewise, I didn't see anything, I'll make a motion to approve them,
And we'll second.
as presented.
All right, got a motion by Lauren to approve the March 23rd meeting minutes and a second by David, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Treasurer's financial report.
On our township, we have $1,168.13. Our money market, we have $140,200.94. The broadband account, we have $15,650. The CD for the fire department is $159,456.76. Cemetery account, we have $16,783.65. And the LGIP general, we have $390,806.97. Maplewood Park projects, we have $40,134.86. And the WPS escrow account, we have $2,000.
All right. So I have a question or two, and I'm assuming this is where I want to bring this up because it's your part of the world. The CD is coming, is basically due.
It was due on the 15th, yeah,
Right.
we want to do anything, we have to do it by the 25th, 24th, actually.
So I'm gonna we need to give 4,700 out of there.
Okay.
In my mind, and cut the check to the fire department.
Okay.
And then we would go ahead, because we had sent out the rates for the CD, and the 6 month was
The
best
right,
one.
yes.
right, which I think must have went to everybody.
3.8 something,
382, I
Yeah.
think.
3.2.
I think so. But, so after the 4,700 is taken out, you wanna reinvest it and reinvest it at the 6 month rate?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, it's a little higher, but means that we have, at 6 months, we gotta look at it again, which is fine, to get that extra rate, so. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So,
motion.
Do we need to?
Yeah, I think we should do a motion and be done, right?
We can do that for that one, that's, so. With the fire department.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we, renew the CD at the 6 month rate of 3.82 minus the $4,700 payable to the Southern Door Fire Department for the, repairs, the roof repairs.
I will second that motion.
All right, I have a motion by Lauren to renew the CD as presented and make a payment to the fire department for the $4,700. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. The other question I would have on this is the park funds. When do we want to transfer that over to the Bowman thing?
Does that have to be after we hear from the federal, from the IRS? Does it have to be or no?
No, because right now it is set up and done. The state has it done. We are the same level as the township is right now at this moment in time. So
We don't even.
With the paperwork.
with the paperwork and what we're designated as a nonprofit.
Because the 501, the C3 doesn't take effect until the IRS sets it, right? And that's fine. Still
Correct.
move it, but as long as it's legit, as long as
It's legit.
right. Good.
I want to comment based on what Jan said earlier in our annual meeting. That if all monies that they bring in are retroactive as 501c3.
Correct.
So therefore, without that IRS determination, once that occurs, it covers this, so.
Yeah.
You could release those funds then to the friends.
And just to add to that, we do have a few small bills that need to be paid already. We do have a bank account set up. We would like to order checks,
Yep,
for one,
and a PO box is set up.
and the PO box is set up, so there's a post office fee that I pay personally that could be reimbursed or should be reimbursed. We're gonna probably talk about the electrical panel or something here for the bathrooms. You know?
Yeah,
So we're gonna need money to pay some bills.
so,
We can move it anytime.
yeah, I think it, right, and I'm assuming, Teresa, you want it out of there anyway.
It's on a piece of paper saying, and then need your like address, I don't know what, who to,
The PO box.
yeah, whatever your address is of the Friends of the,
Okay,
just something to know.
yep,
PO Box 22, Forestville.
Have that information, you could have moved it.
They just,
so what we'll do then is we'll make a motion and we'll get you what you need. And then you'll be able to take care of that part of it so that they can move forward.
So you'll send something to Teresa to put in the file saying.
Well, I don't know what Jan will, or would. It's a minute,
Committee vote, okay,
right, yeah,
okay.
right, basically will be a request, huh? I'm
Sure,
assuming it's a
request.
request.
Okay.
And then on there will be the address and the PO box and whatever other information you possibly need.
she needs that.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, so why don't I make a motion for that? I'll make a motion that we move the $40,134.86 to the park, the Bowman Park Foundation thing.
And I will second a motion to move that to the Friends of, Bowman Park from the town. So,
All right, motion made by Kevin Gillett and seconded by Dave Samuel, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. I know that was weird, but I think it needed to be done in the treasurer's
yeah,
part, as well as the financing. I didn't really see anything else.
some more, yeah, I don't think there's a
If
lot.
nobody has any other questions, I'll make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report as presented.
with the money transfers, taken care
Yes.
of. Yep, money transfers taken care of, I was saying that.
All right, I have a motion by Lauren to accept the treasurer's report as presented with the 2 transfers. And the CD being taken care of, and a second by David, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. The front table, we're ready to go. Item number 6, destination Door County.
Thank you very much. I am going to actually let my colleague Juliana from the tourism zone present first, and then I'll follow up. So thank you.
You're welcome.
It's wonderful. Well, and thank you for having us here again this year. We're happy to come and talk to you a little bit about what we do at the tourism zone in Destination Door County. We just have a few things that are just updates with the zone. We know that there aren't a lot of short-term rentals that are currently active in the town of Forestville, but they have, the ones that you do have been doing very well this past year. So in 2025, there was $10,675 in room tax that was collected in the town of Forestville. And out of that, $3,203 went directly to the town. You may recall that based on state statute, a maximum of 30% of room tax that's collected in the state of Wisconsin can go directly to municipalities for unrestricted use. And the other 70% needs to be directed towards tourism promotion and development activities. So the tourism zone has an entity agreement with Destination Door County, who provides our tourism promotion and development in conjunction with our wonderful community business associations. I also want to remind you that our June renewal deadline is coming up for having an appointee for the tourism zone. Certainly, if you change your mind, you can appoint someone later in the year, but June is the 1-year annual renewal. Of course, you do have a position that's available to you on the commission. They'd be confirmed by a town board vote. A lot of times we encourage someone either with municipal experience, lodging experience, and of course, an interest in tourism to be included on the commission. So if you do have an interest in that, or anyone in the community who expresses an interest in it, there is that position available to you. And it's a really good opportunity to weigh in on tourism and just have your town's voice heard in that space. For the zone and our operations this year, we're focusing a lot on the reduction and reporting issues that we have. So there's a lot of marketplace providers, we call them, for Airbnb, VRBO, that are out there. They provide very different reports to permit holders, to lodging providers. So we're launching a campaign this year to make sure that the lodging providers are aware of their responsibility to complete reporting accurately and in a timely manner. We've been able to knock down a lot of the late reports and missing reports over the course of the commission's existence. It's gone down from 30% in 2009 to 15% last year. And of course, with the intergovernmental agreement that we have with all 19 municipalities, we are authorized and consistently take care of any compliance issues that may come up. But of course, that always comes with the territory, I'm sure you understand. I don't know if you have any specific questions about operations for room tax throughout the county, or any shifts that we've seen lately and just within the county for property types amongst the municipalities, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Well, you did mention some short-term rentals. I'm not aware of what they are, how many are there total, you know, I mean, offhand.
In town
In the
forest,
village.
2.
There are 2.
Killing it. It's really good. Yep, and one of them was a compliance permit that we did find, looking through VRBO, it popped up without them getting a permit, so we sent them a couple of letters, pursued the compliance issue, got them permitted, and then, got them started with completing that monthly reporting process that's required.
So how hard is it for them to get permitted?
With the zone, we are probably the quickest permit that they get. Because the way that, the intergovernmental agreement is designed is we don't have, a lot of barriers to actually receiving the permit itself. The Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection, they have a separate license where they enter the property, make sure that the safety aspects of the property are secure. And we share information with them, but on our side, it's really the initial permitting process is. Let us know, we want to verify that you are actually the owner of the property. Are you going to have an agent that's representing you? And what are your operations going to be looking like in terms of maximum occupancy, the number of units you're gonna have, and what months you're gonna be operating throughout the year. It's really later that we run into a lot of the compliance issues. If someone is not reporting, their total lodging sales correctly, is not sending in, the room tax in a timely manner, that's where we tend to come down a little bit harder, for those.
So how does this work with all the townships that don't want it?
Well, so all 19 municipalities are included in the zone agreement and the intergovernmental agreement, so. But for some of the municipalities, if you're referring to some of the townships, some of the municipalities that prefer not to have as many short-term rentals. A few of them have utilized the limited options through the state legislature to require 7 day, one rental entry per 7 days. Maximums of 180 days renting, that doesn't affect a lot of properties. They are limited, they've tried them out in different capacities, and we've heard a couple different outcomes and adjustments for the ones that have added in those limitations.
Okay,
Are we as a town, you mentioned the 30% that we get, are we as a town to earmark those dollars for tourism, or can we go blacktop and roll with it?
You can use them for whatever you'd like to use them for. It's the other 70% that needs to be used for tourism promotion development, qualified
Right.
materials for it. But you can use the 30% for whatever you'd like to use it for.
yeah, anything else as far as you guys? Mr.
So yes, I've got about 2 hours worth of material. Yeah.
We're gonna get that fish fry going.
That'll be Wednesday.
So again, I'm John Jarsh, part of the professional staff at Destination Door County. Really do appreciate your partnership. And also your willingness to be part of the tourism zone. You might have 2 lodging properties here, but we still value your involvement. We want to make sure that we're representing the entire county, whether you have no permits, 2 permits, or maybe 150 permits. So to us, it's very important to have our advice. We really do appreciate you being a part of the tourism zone. So I do want to take a real quick, just an opportunity to thank our board members. One of our board members, Tony Sorensen, she is on our Destination Door County board and kind of represents her interests in Southern Door County. And I believe might be a resident of the town of Forestville as well.
We know where she lives.
Yeah. And then also Karen Stroshine from the Southern Door Business Association. I'll talk a little bit about our support for the Community Business Association, but really do appreciate all the work Karen does on behalf of Southern Door County businesses and the area in general, including their fabulous new map.
Maps are back. I'll leave a couple for you guys.
Very exciting. So, for DDC, we've been around for a long time. I'm gonna kind of walk through your folder. I was the one that brought these and set everything on your spot. This one sheet that you see right here in the front is kind of an overview. I'm just gonna walk through a few of the things in there just to kind of help guide you through what I'm gonna mention and just help spur any questions that you have. The sheet right here, that's an interesting one or a good one just for you all to know is where does room tax go? So, the 30% that we talked about, you are all you can use that to whatever you prioritize here in town. The 70%, goes through us as the tourism entity, and then you can kind of break down and see where we utilize those dollars. But one thing I'll mention is it really all starts with a paid overnight stay. The dollars that we have to operate with are not around if visitors don't stay here overnight in paid accommodations. And so one of our main priorities and one of our main goals as an organization is to really market and promote Door County as a great place to come and visit. Because if we don't do that, then the dollars that come in, the 30% that you get, all the dollars that we have to do, all the different programming that we can do is not available to us. So that really is a key part of our core operations, is that marketing and that promotional approach. So you see a couple of different things there. On the right or the left side, you'll see two documents, our strategic plan and our destination stewardship plan. These are both executive summaries. Trust me, they're a lot longer, but we spare you that. However, if you would like to see the full versions, they are certainly available to you online. But they really are kind of our guiding light. That's how we make sure that all the decisions that we make are well timed and also done in conjunction with our overall goals and our mission to make sure Door County is a fantastic place. You also will see the power of the visitor economy, this information sheet here. This is broad numbers for the entire county, but it's real dollars when it comes down to it. Again, we don't break it down by municipality, but over $650 million in 2024 in overall economic impact. So it really does allow our residents to stay here, to raise their families here. It is real dollars. Not to mention the tax revenue that comes in, the employment. You can see the numbers here. That's a nice, broad overview, but it really does hit home how important our visitor economy is to the entire peninsula and our 34 named islands as well that we have here. Numbers for 2025 will be out in mid-June. That is when we anticipate. These numbers do reflect 2024, just so you know there. A couple other things that we do, obviously our core operations, which I talked about. On the bottom of this page, you can see some of our main promotional tools that are part of those core operations, our guides, doorcounty.com, our website, and of course, our welcome center. But we also do some other things, and part of what we do as an organization is try to respond to what our community's needs are, whether you're in Southern Door County or off the tip of the peninsula on Washington Island. So we have shifted some of the things that we do, and in the last 5-6 years, you've seen that shift. You can see in our strategic plan the 3 pillars that we have. One of those is marketing and that visitor economy portion, but the other 2 really do focus more on our residents and people that live here. And we recognize the importance of making sure that we're communicating with our residents and making sure that we're responding to our community needs. One of the ways that we help give back some of the 70% that we are entrusted with is our municipal reimbursement program. So the money that you pay to the tourism zone to help fund their administrative expenses, we in turn will turn around and reimburse you for those funds, just like we do the other 18 municipalities. And you in turn can use those for projects that meet state statutes, since it's part of that 70%. Any park expenses that you may have, you're welcome to spend those on. We hope you appreciate that. It's been important for us to provide that give back to our municipalities, to show appreciation for your participation in the tourism zone. Another program that we have that we believe very strongly in is a program that helps support our 11 community business associations. This year, that assistance is about $1.6 million, so it is fairly significant. The 11 CBAs that divide that up based on how much room tax their individual municipality collects. So we do certainly appreciate, as I mentioned, the work of the Southern Door Community Business Association. They do some really good work, not just the map, that's a part of it, but they do a lot more than that. And really, the events and the support to the local businesses here in the Southern Door area are very important, so we do appreciate their support and do help provide them with some funding to carry on the important work that they do. Another important program that we started just a couple of years ago, primarily as a result of the room tax going from 5.5% to 8%, was our Community Investment Fund. That's a program that our board of directors believes very strongly in, as does our professional staff. That is a program that allows us to provide important funding to local projects throughout the county, by utilizing that 70%. Now, the key is that has to be used according to state statute, so it's gotta be touching a visitor in some capacity. But the other component with that program, maybe you know, maybe you don't, is that we also ask projects to also have a positive impact on our residents. So if you put those two circles together, there's a tiny little part in the middle that meets both of those goals, and that's where our projects have to meet. And happy to say, and thank you for applying for the project that you have out here, the trail project that you had done. We're excited to be able to help to work with you and to provide that funding through that particular program. The program itself, we've been able to fund 66 different projects in the last couple of years, totaling just under $3.5 million. And this year, our board put an additional $2.2 million into that fund to help continue that support for community projects throughout the whole entire county. I don't know if the bathroom project, if there was an application put in for that particular project for funding assistance.
We did put in some, but we struggle here because of the heads in the bed. We don't have water, we don't have. We're more of a farming community, so we're kind of secluded in the middle here. So when we start to hit your requirements, sometimes you guys need to look a little bit beyond the lines of there.
Agricultural tourism.
You know, I wanna be 100% fair here.
Yeah.
We couldn't thank you guys enough for the donation of that trail. It is awesome. It gets used and the people hike. And this is the midpoint. It's the center for where they start and stop. And I get called quite often. And we just put up a little tent here and we're talking hours, right? They basically, it's dark and then they're gone in the morning. I know that's not supposed to happen, but whatever.
Yeah.
We would prefer them to be in something of this nature out on the end where they're not on private property and there's other issues going on. Door County Business Association, we applied for and they did help us. So indirectly,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, kind of how it goes. So thank you guys for that. That was the gap bridger to get us where we needed to be for those projects.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
Yeah.
say, not to forget this end of the county because, right? And I know some of the other parts of the Nassau has one. When you have those waters, you've got more Airbnbs, you've got more things, you've got down here, nobody wants to stay in the barn.
Somebody probably.
I'm just saying, it just makes it a little bit.
I don't know, Kevin, convert your barn.
You know, I mean, we got some good things going on, there's no doubt about it,
Absolutely.
but,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, and our
as your
hands are-
boundary or whatever.
Our hands are somewhat tied based on the statute, right?
Yep,
As soon as we start to stray from that, you know, people can start to raise more questions, and obviously we need to stay within the law. But we do what we can, and to be honest with you, I've been around for a long time, and I never thought we'd even have a program close to this. To be able to support projects around the community like we've been able to do, so. All we can do is ask you to keep trying and
Yeah.
keep applying for stuff.
and we will.
Certainly, we appreciate all that. At the same token, I understand the frustration of some of the roadblocks that might be there as part of that process.
And I don't think it's a frustration, because we've been blessed that you gave us anything, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's not how we look at it. I look at it as, you know, the program is doing what it's doing and it's great for the community. But just based on our demographics, sometimes a little bit of a hurdle for the inner part here where I got nothing. I can't meet that 100%. I can maybe do a couple things, but. You know,
Yeah.
something to take back to the board and maybe talk about at some point in time, and I'm not asking not to be within the rules. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, the grant for the trail, again, that was a grant from a tourist use, but it wasn't from heads in beds necessarily, so it does, we could, for example, a
Yeah.
fishing pier at the dam, we could,
Right, but
you don't need the head sleeping, but to your point, we were able to get that, and thank you for that, but
one of the big things is the heads in bed. That is like
we won't have that.
one of the number one things.
Projects do have to pass what we call the tourism test, because again, because of state statute, it has to. So,
And there may be some things, there have been some things like new events in the county that have been funded through the community investment fund, so maybe there is something that's agritourism related that, you want to highlight, farmers in the area and bringing people to support that, so it could still support heads and beds, even if those beds aren't in the town.
Right,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
could-
I mean, it could be the whole
they're
summer
still-
door.
Maybe they go back to Nassau at night, but they're here all day. So that is, something to, to keep an eye out for. The just having the two wouldn't be a limitation for that specifically, so.
so. If you wanna look at all the grants that we've provided, we try to be as transparent as we can, which I think is pretty transparent. doorcounty.com/CIF, and you can see all the grants that we've provided. And also in your sheet, you'll see the additional deadlines for this year. We have 4 different deadlines this year, it's usually once every quarter. So we do give people an opportunity, multiple opportunities a year to put in an application. And the last thing I'll say about the community investment fund, if you ever have an idea, or you're working on a project around the park or what have you, and you're wondering if it might qualify, reach out to the community foundation. They are our administrative partner, they manage the process for us. And just schedule a time to meet with them, whether it's, it has to be a local nonprofit, so the new organization that's just funding here for the park could qualify, or it could be the town. It's gotta be a local government, or the county, or a local nonprofit, but if you're just wondering, gosh, would we ever qualify for this particular project, set up a time to meet with them, and they can kind of walk you through it, they're there to really try to help people get funded, if at all possible, and they'll give you some tips and pointers on how you might be able to phrase certain things to give you the best shot. So, a few other things that we have, and then I'll let you get back on with your meeting, but, in addition to recruiting visitors to come up here, we also understand the value of the hospitality workforce, so we do have some things that we do a workforce recruitment campaign to help local businesses find employees to help staff their tourism related businesses. Jobsindoorcounty.com is a site that we make available to the community at no cost for businesses that are looking for work. And we also allow, obviously that's our call to action in a couple of workforce campaigns that we have. And to say, hey, you wanna come up to Door County to work for the summer? Or do you wanna relocate to Door County to work? That's where we direct folks to go to look for jobs, and we also have a couple of other things that just workforce recognition to show our hospitality workforce that we appreciate what they do. We sponsor a Server of the Week contest in the Peninsula Pulse, and at the end of the year, we do a special hospitality hero campaign that allows residents or visitors an opportunity to really kind of highlight somebody that they feel goes above and beyond in their job, and the front line of the hospitality. So. The last thing I will mention has to do with our stewardship plan. That was in here. That was a project that we had done a couple of years ago after COVID. As some of you may remember, it was a lot busier than normal up here. And so that allowed us as an organization to realize and make some decisions about, we needed to be a lot better about our tourism management responsibilities, not just promotion and marketing. And so we worked with a firm and had all sorts of public input meetings and talked to ultimately about 1,500 different people to put together the plan that you see in that stewardship plan. And a lot of it has to do with us, but a lot of it doesn't. There are some things that we are not able to necessarily have direct impact on. Workforce housing, for example, we can't use that 70% roof tax that we're entrusted with to help pay for workforce housing. Same with daycare, or childcare for that matter, for tourism workers. But what we can do is try to be at the table and help where we can in those initiatives. But the stewardship plan really is our guiding light for how to better manage what tourism might look like here. And also how to be more responsive to our residents that are here, that need to make their living here, but also need to live here. And what can we do to make sure that their experience as residents is as good as possible? So, always happy to answer any questions, be it today or any other day of the year, about tourism and what we're doing in Destination York County, but certainly happy to entertain any questions that you might have right now.
Just a quick thought, I mean, Kevin showed a picture of a trolley here, he asked me some question on that, and then you got the barns and stuff, and just top of my head, you know, I drive up north for the trolley, right, how about an agritourism tour? I mean, there are people that probably have never seen cows milked or whatever, and we have some very nice farms in the southern part of the county here with some impressive technology and or old fashioned techniques. I mean, you could go to some of the robotic places and also go to some old family farms that could. And I'll talk with AJ about that up in Egg Harbor and see if, you know, that could possibly get a trolley full of people coming.
That's where I come in too. Those are events and things that I am new. This is my first full year as the Southern North CDA. We've never had one before. So we never really had we've always had a board, kind of ebbed and flowed over the years. That's involvement with Destination York County, but now I'm like the point person for DDC to reach out to for projects and events and things. And I'm also here to help people if they want to, if you need an event or something that needs to be funded. We don't put on events as a Southern North Business Association yet, although Niagara, that sounds kind of fun.
Well, because you started out as a one-time event. And
Right.
It can, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a great
attend,
idea.
and it could be a twice a year thing or whatever, or
Yeah.
a tour, a weekly tour, but you know, whatever, that's down the road. But something like that to go through you, maybe I could,
Absolutely. Yeah, I would love to talk about
and
it.
it would highlight the farms could kind of show off what they're doing. I mean, would you be willing to do that? I mean, we got a great setup,
Rich Olson has.
and Rich Olson, he's got the solar there and whatever. and- Right,
You know,
then we
what
could throw in Go and Go wine place.
what we try not to do is like promote stuff that's not available yet, so farmers don't have people showing up, hey, I wanna get a tour of your farm," you know?
This is obviously the baby step for you.
Yeah, but like, that's where we're here, and obviously.
I will leave my business card in our map, so you guys reach out to me I'll leave it at the door, and I definitely would love to talk about this, because we just talked about this in a recent meeting about how agritourism, rural tourism is becoming a real trending thing right now. People kind of want to get back to the simple, type of travel, so yeah, I'm very excited about that.
But the corn.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Orchards,
come and visit us.
Orchards, heck
you know,
No, it's
not a-
Nobody's ever angry at the corn maze. It's never happened. It's just a wonderful place. It's like watching the fireworks. Nobody's angry at the fireworks. It's just you and, So,
okay, I'll pick up the car.
did Karen retire or move on? Right? Wasn't it Karen who
No.
was,
Well,
No,
a different Karen?
Julie? I'm sorry.
Julie, yeah, she moved on. She took a new role at a different DMO actually in St. Louis.
Oh, that's like a long move on.
Yeah, so we miss her every day, but yeah, it was, she had put in her notice back in January, so.
I thought I'd seen something come across on an email or whatever, and I didn't know if she was still in there.
Yeah.
No,
No, she moved on. She's worked in St. Louis. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the opportunity to be here and the bonus that we got to see your annual meeting. So,
thank you guys for all you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're grateful to have you.
Yeah, if you leave a card or else.
I'll leave her.
Okay, thank you.
And a couple of our new maps.
All right, thank you, Carmen. Yeah. Everybody.
All right. Public comment. We are to public comment. Is there anybody who has anything they want to say? Anybody online?
No, real.
Yeah, anybody?
I got it.
Okay,
Does that?
it's good to see you, good to see you, good to see you.
All right, we'll move on to the next. Southern Door Fire Department report and updates.
Alrighty. I promise not to be as long as Destination North going. Not that they were,
Well, that's good, that you didn't have a lot of numbers.
right? So our last meeting was April 8th. The treasurer reported $7,349.05 in checking. $132,977.50 in the money market. And that's up significantly because of the tax receipts, the property tax receipts that were, since I believe last meeting. CD in one of the CDs, $56,656.06. CD number 2, $59,167.30. For a grand total of $256,169.91. The chief reported 7 fire calls and 10 EMR calls and just a few fire calls here. A lot had to do with the wind and the storms. March 13th, County O, branch on a power line. They waited in place and, WPS was notified through the comm center. Again, March 13th, Lower the Cell Road, tree on a power line, notified WPS through the comm center. That one they left because right then there was nothing going on. About 4 hours later, they got called back to the same place. On Lower the Cell Road, same tree on the power line, but the base of the tree, the trunk of the tree was now on fire. Waiting for WPS, because obviously they can't spray the tree down,
You do it.
right? So, March 13th, they were alerted, from an alarm company of a CO alarm at, West Center Road. For a blocked, turned out to be a blocked furnace exhaust vent. After the big snowstorm, the residents were not home at the time, so the alarm went off, notified the alarm company called 911 or whatever, so luckily that was a very, very positive outcome there. Right, March 21st, this was the day of our, of the,
The blizzard.
no, banquet, appreciation banquet.
Oh,
Called the mutual aid to Oklahoma Fire Department for a chicken coop on fire.
really?
By the time they got there. The chickens and everything were gone, right? Basically, the building was gone by the time they arrived. The joke of the night was at the banquet is that the chicken we were having was from the fire from that morning. So. March 24th, 178 West Park Road. This is we used to be the elderly old folks home in Forestville across from the ballpark. Now it's more of a apartment complex for a cooking fire. The fire was out upon arrival, but they investigated, the ceiling was scorched black. So they investigated upstairs, make sure nothing got through or nothing else, was small burning. And then the last one was 6620 Rosewood Road, smoke coming from a building. Investigated, found steam coming from a maple syrup evaporator. It wasn't smoke, it was steam. And you can see it from the corner of Government J. I saw it myself. And I know the homeowner has a wood outside wood burner. Cooking syrup. Right, and it was, someone called in, Stephen called in, right? So. Appreciation banquet was held, like I said, March 21st, the firefighters at EMR's wish to thank the board for a great banquet, and then as a board member there, I also thank speaking on behalf of this municipalities, thank them for their service and everything, so. Firefighters received a $1,000 donation from the Land O'Lakes Corp Foundation. Land O'Lakes, you're familiar, is the milk-based company. Chief Olson, who obviously spearheaded that grant. They got that donation. Firefighter Brian Depre is stepping down from the Southern Fire Department. He recently moved to the Brussels area, so he's gonna be joining the Bug Fire Department. In turn, last month, we got like basically 2 back from Bug. And so we got 3.
Played the game later. I played the game later.
Oh, no, we actually got them we got them ahead of the tree. So, East Shore Industries, came to our fire station April 7th. They took them for a little fire truck ride down to the Forestville Dam. And, the clients were very excited, to say the least. Chief will be out of the country, April 17th to the 30th. Well-deserved vacation, I believe, to Greece. And then I added one for that's not on the list here, but spring fire inspections they actually started this morning. I saw the guys all in out, they were at Cherry Delight, and they said they have like 8 more to go. And my question was, destination was here, do the B&Bs get inspected?
Well, I would believe so, that's probably part of their requirement, I would think.
I would think, I should ask that one.
Anytime you're in a
Well, they were here.
safety thing, you're gonna have fire extinguishers,
But spring
smoke
inspections,
alarms.
spring fire inspections have started. So Larry might get knocked on, right?
So, oh, yeah,
I don't know what about, Steve.
I have no problem with that, I appreciate it.
So- In all other matters, we did receive the claim base portion of the escrow for the roof repair. Obviously, tonight we getting the parcel portion, right? The main meetings of the next 6 months are 7 p.m. Time right now, it's 6 p.m. And then the last thing I have is just for the board to keep in mind, Chuck Schley, our representative, has notified us in the past, and I've probably mentioned this, or that he is stepping down by October, so we need to keep replacements in mind.
Yep.
Question about what you said about those Airbnbs, is that something the fire department can send a letter to those 2 to say there needs to be inspections? Cause there probably should be, so is that the fire department to send that?
I know who to contact,
Okay, cause that might be,
On,
it's important to get that checked, it's all thing.
right? I know the guy who's doing the inspections.
You know, on the other side of that, in order to stay permitted, I am confident they're paying for their permit yearly,
Right.
which means somebody is inspecting that everything is up.
Well, so, whatever,
So I don't know, I would ask Chief Olson when he comes, is that our responsibility, or is that, then you can just get hold of destination and ask.
is that part of the overall
Do
inspection?
we have the addresses? Of the
We don't, no,
B&B would know.
destination will, yes,
Right.
because it's the agricultural permit is the one that would follow up on your.
That has to be all approved before they can even get the.
Yes, yes,
Status-
I'm confident they're.
Status of B&B, we already know.
Yeah.
But
Even our phone
Right.
temperatures.
No.
We do it ourselves.
One at a time, please.
So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Maplewood Sanitary District, did you get anything other than
So
support?
Jason Wilkie's term was up. He was on the ballot for that April election. So we had write-ins for that because I went to both papers and he won the election. So Jason Wilkie is now.
Thank you, guys.
He signed his oath of office, so he's. Will be at the board. And then we just received their minutes dates.
All right. The next item is Maplewood projects that we kind of went through that already. On the annual meeting, I don't know that we need to go through that again.
I don't think so.
You can probably take that off the agenda now, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Cemetery report, Larry?
Several things, I came in to vote and I was told I had mail. And this was from the, Forestville American Legion, 372, thanking us for allowing them to place wreaths at the cemetery for that month, and they, of course, cleaned it up. So they also wanted, to do it again December 19th, 2026, and asked for permission and predicated on what we did in the past, I sent back, a message to them, we're glad to help honor, veterans, and so, yeah, go ahead and keep us informed, they'll contact us back. So that is.
Did you say December?
Pardon?
Did you say December?
No, September.
19th.
September,
No, December,
December?
yeah,
It's for the
wait a
wreath,
minute,
Oh,
yeah,
what did they say here?
it's for the wreath program,
December
yeah.
19th, 2026.
okay.
They did that in front of the sign,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they cleaned it up too.
Yep.
They had a nice ceremony, and well, it was, well, beyond that, there's, we had a little challenge this month, past. We had a burial on the 26th of March. The highway department had left about a 10-foot snowbank on the grave site. About the same place where those wreaths were. And this was that, I gave you the money last month for that because the funeral home is busy. But the family had never come in to take a look at the site that I had earmarked, which was now buried under snow. So I was out in the middle of the cemetery the day before trying to locate the grave, and the county payload pulled up across the street, and he was having lunch or a snack or something.
God works in mysterious ways.
And I walked over to him and said, hey, you guys, you left an awful lot of stuff on the road here. Really? I have to call my supervisor, Tad or Randy or whomever, called him. They gave permission for him to clear the gravesite area, which they did. And I talked with Teresa about that because there's some other things going on as a result of that storm. And so he spent, he said, he told the supervisor, it'll take me 15 minutes. Took a little more than 15 minutes, but he took that loader and he opened it all the way up to the ground, which was wonderful. So I cleared the whole thing out, got police to come in, dug the grave. Well, of course, there'd been snow over the top of the thing and it's all sand and it's sugar sand up there. So he dug the grave and he said, well, we'll bring the vault in, the burial will be tomorrow. Well, went up there the next day. And here they're got the casket sitting on top of the grave liner on the road. And their funeral directors are directing traffic around it, and they're having a funeral on the road. And I have never seen that before. So,
Well, they made do. They had to.
they had to, because the sugar stand had caved in, so the grave refilled. So it was an ordeal, and I was up there with police, so they put the casket in the liner, put the cover on the liner, picked it up, and then had cleared out the opening so that they could put it in there. It was unbelievable. I had never seen anything like that. The following week, I got another call. Well, we have a burial. This is gonna be on the 9th, Anne Marie Gleason. And that grave site, I put the markers in and I talked to Jason. I was out there with Jason and Sam weeks to say, here's where it's gotta go. I don't know how you're gonna do it. And they put it from one headstone and there's another headstone right here. And this is one of those old ones where there wasn't a lot of room. They managed to slip another one right where it was over the gate. So it was an interesting time. This last month was a lot of things on the cemetery that I have never encountered before. We got it taken care of. And I also have a cleanup scheduled for May 9th, that's Saturday morning, with the other two committee members. So we are going to, hopefully, I don't like to do it before Mother's Day, but when we do clean it up, people come back there sometimes and put decorations in early. And I've in the past had a problem when some people take nice potted plants for Mother's Day. I don't know, do it, but, because that's the only time we can make it. So,
What time is that gonna be at?
9 in the morning,
9 AM, okay, thank you.
we meet there, we do the work of pulling our stakes and markers. All the decorations, and everything else out of there, clean it up. Keep it looking clean, good, then we go down to Broad House and do the same thing down there because the stuff happens. So, that's basically the cemetery report, and I'll turn in the expense from them. Once we get, a couple, 3 hours, whatever it takes us to do all the work. So. That's the cemetery report. I hope not that busy that much.
Thank you.
As far as the broadband update, there isn't a whole lot happening.
Well, I did actually call today, I talked with someone at Bertram, and they just yesterday. They received a PSC agreement, a grant agreement, and there's a 30-day. They have 30 days to look it over, and then 30 days from that, so 60 days from today. The public may know, we should know 30 days from today as town municipalities. We should get some information about the next timeline, so it's still vague, but
Did Bertrand get it, or did
this was, well,
everyone, all three of them?
well, Starlink has not been communicating to me, I mean, there's no contact. So there's no, I mean, I don't know what it is, I've called them, but it's a general helpline. So there's no contact person at Starlink. Bertram, I have a contact person through Jessica Hatch a little bit, so I've been talking to both of them. And really Century CenturyLink is really just the village of Forestville. Most of the township appears to be Bertram, if there's 5 of them. So.
Well,
it-
third, on the other side,
on the-
no, this whole area here is central.
It is the
Brightspeed.
Brightspeed, it is still, right?
Oh, yeah,
Okay, and it will be,
yes.
okay, fair
And
enough. So
Kelly,
Kelly should,
Shipley is the contact there,
right,
and, they're waiting, there's, I don't know what's going on at the state book.
well, what she said today
It's the
was
same
60 days from today ultimately for everybody to hear, but then it's still 4 years. That they have, and there's going to be within 60 days from today, we will know. Where we sit within the municipality list of the order of way things are done. So just, if we're gonna be pessimistic about it, we might be on the bottom of that 4-year run, so it could be still up to 4 years. From 60 days.
Bill goes back to that thing we started over 2 years ago.
And that's irrelevant at this point.
4 years.
Yeah, the gal said, that's true, but it's not true, doesn't matter. So once Starlink wanted to get involved, they reset the timeline, so it's still 4 years from 60 days from today.
Interesting.
So at least that's what I was told today. So that's, I mean, again, unfortunately, it's a vague update there, but that's okay.
Anything on the Hague and website?
Yeah, there was a message that was sent in, contact submission on the 4th of April. They gave an address living at Old Krieger Road, 4th floor, wants to put a 6-foot wire fence for their dog and cats. Do I need a permit? Who's answering these?
I believe she left the phone number, didn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, I called her directly.
Okay, well, I didn't see any response, but I did see that. come.
Right, it was like weird how she did it or whatever, I mean.
Well, it's on the contact form on our website, and so she used the general contact form to ask that question. And I saw no response, so I had no idea.
Yeah, so I called her
Okay.
and then I didn't know where to really go beyond that point in time, but.
And then I had another contact, on the permit, the tribal. permit.
Yes, I called her too.
Okay.
Well, it was weird because you couldn't. She gave the $50, but then it was on a county road, which she still would have had to get 2 permits anyway. But
Right.
she wasn't putting in a new permit, she just wanted to add on for existing.
Why I need to call.
Yes, yes.
But you called me, what's going on?
Well, because when it first came, I wasn't in town, we were out.
Oh,
So then
okay,
when I got back, it was either Sunday or Monday,
okay.
I called her, left a voicemail. And then she called me
Well, I
back
saw
later.
nothing. You
Yeah,
know,
she
and I-
called me back later that day.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's all, and it was she goes, okay,
Yep.
whatever. So those are the only things that I had. We did have some, periods of outage on the website. And I don't really know why they were out. I don't know, you had some problem, we had something going on the website that one day,
We were posting a notice,
we couldn't get it posted.
right, they wouldn't let us post the agenda or the notice for the
Right.
spring road review.
Right,
Road
and,
inspection?
and I don't know what happened that day. I did contact them and I called the support folks and I worked with them and it was just, our website has a buffer in it, okay? They can't get down to our real information. It's put out there on another server. And if something goes bad with that, our basic information doesn't get corrupted. This is just a security issue. And it took 2 days to get it figured out. To get that posting out for the road review, whatever. And I resolved it, I worked with Teresa on that, and we did get it resolved, so.
Good.
That's all I got there.
All right. Item number 14, equipment usage compensation resolution 2020-01 expense reimbursement.
Yeah, we tabled that from last week.
Right.
Or last month. But
Right.
I did have some numbers on that, I mean, that I just looked at, but the FEMA rates, you know, for some of the reimbursement stuff, we just today talked about $20 instead of 15. So I don't know if that, I mean, it was an advisory vote, but that sounds like that is supported. So we may wanna do that, but. You know, the reimbursement rates, you know, I don't know, I can go through numbers, but you know, it's tractors separate by horsepower, $90 or $70 an hour. Plus, depending on if you're using flail mowers, chainsaws, depending on the size, is different amounts an hour, plus the $20, you know, per hour for the operator. So there's a bunch of those rates. But we did, I mean, we were concerned, I think, a little bit, or need to be, just about potential costs involved, any profiteering, I know, or liabilities of the town. What if, is it open to community members? I mean, is it just for town, you know?
Well, because under a town member, you're still, you have some coverage there.
As a, I mean, as an employee. As a board member, right, but if we're putting this, is this, if somebody wants to go out and clear the town's ditches or the, you know, the ditch, the right of way. To help us out, or, you know, we'll bring the tractor and get stuff, I mean, is there a liability for us? Or, you know, to be aware of or concerned about.
There might be,
That is a good point.
there might be, right, because if somebody got hurt, right, you get the right attorney when you got other problems.
And then, because they were, in a sense, they weren't contracting for us, but they were.
Right, because
doing
anybody
work
else,
for
like
we-
Vader, we have a certificate of insurance.
Right,
Hudson,
Same
I have
for
certificate
Krieger.
of insurance, Krieger,
Right.
certificate of insurance, Toro, certificate of insurance, all of that is covered.
and that's the kind of situation where it doesn't have to be anything intentional, like to try to get money or lawsuits or whatever, but it's. Those are potentially all of a sudden, by de facto, dangerous situations, that's why it's being done in an emergent situation, so. You know, if it's somebody with their own personal tractor and car comes around the corner and skids into them and.
Well, any of it happens.
Right.
Be a million things.
No, of course, yeah, so there's that problem that we should think about before,
So maybe it's not a good idea.
you know.
We try to make it easier or better, and
Right,
sometimes it
and-
just isn't
I
easier or better.
agree.
We might open ourselves up to it, you know, I'll still do it, I mean, and you probably will too, you know, you help them out, but. Sometimes it just has to be help, you know? Cause I don't know, I think once we set these things, people might say, oh, this, as a town member, I'm a town member, I could go do this and. And build a town for it. So, and if they get hurt, that's fine.
So maybe we let it alone. Is that what we're thinking?
I mean, we could increase that to $20 an hour instead of
That,
15.
I think that,
I mean,
that is not this,
no,
right?
but it is,
Teresa? I believe there is a separate resolution for the dollar amount that is paid out, correct?
I think
That,
Well, I thought I saw.
correct, well, that's for everybody. Larry, could you help out on that? Do you remember? I thought there's a separate resolution for hourly wage
It is not.
if we would raise that.
I don't see it on here, but.
It is not part of this resolution, I don't believe. This is your meal and your lodging and your vehicle
That's the
mileage.
elected, officials.
This one, what we're looking at, I think.
Which one are you dealing with?
Well, right now, this is 2020-01, okay? That's this one, but what we're asking is,
For a reimbursement, like an equipment.
like, if we
reimbursement.
raise the rate from to the $20 from 15,
Okay, what is the current ordinance that sets those rates that you get?
that's what I was asking. That's exactly what I was asking.
It's one of the,
It's not this one.
It's not that.
It's on the
Is
website.
it 2020?
This is 2020-01, but this one doesn't set that $15.
2020,
did we just renew this
this is okay, 2021
recently?
is
Wasn't that long was last year,
Right?
because it wasn't like 12.
adopted the majority of the board of town, this is reimbursed by the town, it's authorized for elected and appointed officials. That has to be done before your election.
Right, but there was something, and it is on the website, I was not looking at it, I can't
Okay.
say to the number, but where it said what this hourly compensation was for,
For town officials and
And-
voting, the poll
That's
workers, that's a separate resolution or whatever it was.
right,
It was, and it was see, what was that?
while we're looking for that, that might be just the only way we can get at this is to make that $20.
I'm going right back there.
You know, hardly. Seems like it's funny, but acceptable, we can have any money.
Okay, 2025 overnight, there's a resolution
Stuck it out.
to establish the fee schedule. Third one. And on that resolution was town hall rental, beer and license, liquor licenses, dog license, driveway permit, driveway permits, and tar rental. Those were tabled expenditure.
Well, cause I remember.
should it have been on that, this one?
Here, let's get this. What year number? 2025. Here it is. Where is?
Well, but that's the fee schedule, there was a reimbursement or a payment that.
Right, and what we did here is we made this so we can
So we
change
know what
these.
all the fees are.
Right, and we can change them.
That was done in October 2025.
That I remember, but.
2025-03.
But there's something else we're looking for where it says what the $15 per hour paid,
Yeah, where is
and that's,
that?
it's in there, right?
It is, yes, I know it's own.
Until we find that or in the, while we're looking for it.
So why don't we put that on the next agenda?
Table that just because we're running.
Yes, we'll put that on the next agenda as an item.
I think we better be careful with it, so.
I don't disagree with that. I think Lauren, you agree with that too, right?
I'm fine with that.
So then the equipment thing will actually take off of here for the next meeting.
Absolutely.
Because when you said salaries for elected officials,
No, not like a salary or what we're getting paid, but
you're talking the hourly rate and the
Yes,
election.
yes, yes,
Workers,
yes,
that hourly thing, what you get paid to go out and do.
yes.
And that's in there.
Right. So if Ruth comes and does the sign, that's what she's gonna get paid, is $20 an hour plus her materials.
Or it's 15 now.
Well, it's 15 now, right, but that's what we,
That, you would change that and we just have to research the thing.
right.
Uh,
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna table it, we're gonna find out what
Right.
resolution number that is. And we will vote on it next meeting.
and that would be a part of this, the expense reimbursement.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, equipment and expense reimbursement, that would all be comprehensive.
Correct, and we may or may not do the equipment at this.
Because we're worried about liabilities, what we're worried about.
Correct.
That's really what we're worried about.
Oh,
So we're not even gonna really even change that one, we're just gonna change.
Change the amount of the, right,
okay,
We're gonna let that alone.
Fine resolution.
Correspondence number 15. I didn't have any, I think we
I
got.
just wanna let you know what I'm working on. Through the county, we're working on this snowstorm disaster aid for snowstorm Elsa. So with Jeb and we're guaranteed, we're filling out, a form and it's due by May 15th. And we're eligible for a certain dollar amount for our township, grant money for snow plowing from snowstorm Elsa.
Okay, but all those numbers would have come from that.
That's where Jeb gets them from.
Okay, yes.
Correct, so I'm working with him right now to get that aid,
Yep.
because our, well, 5,100 is what we're looking at for aid from this, from FEMA, you know, so. I'm working on that, and once I know more of what what we are eligible for is 48 hours of snow plowing. So he gave me a list of the 13th through the 20th of March, that took the two highest days. And then I'm actually over the amount that we're eligible for, so.
I'm wondering if they aren't gonna have anything, and I did call Thad, but I think it was too soon. For this last rainstorm where,
Yeah,
because we have some expenses incurred here, to say the
So-
least.
with snowstorm Elsa, did we have any town expenses where someone plowed out any town roads? Did we hire anybody?
No, it was all the county,
All county, okay, good, so it makes it easier for traffic.
right,
So, okay.
right.
Perfect.
But if he said, if Jeb says something.
Yeah.
About this last rainstorm, or if you ask him where we had all that. Because you have some county and you have Joe Bader, they're separate,
Oh,
I'll need to be involved in that one, is what I'm trying to tell you.
yeah, right now, we're just working on.
Right, snow first,
Yeah, so,
rain next week,
yeah.
snow week after rain,
Right, so we're working on, yeah.
well aware, all right.
That's all I have,
okay.
no.
Road work, right away. I might wanna table that, Larry. I remember this was way back when we started the first thingy over there with broadband. They had handed us something at some point that the county was suggesting, there was even a meeting we went to on getting the right of way set for broadband specifically. The county had some form of a format,
A record, well,
a recommendation, yes. Can we get our heads on that? This was pages and pages of stuff, this wasn't just,
Oh, is this, here's utilities, this restoration and replacement.
there was multiple pages of things we didn't even think of when. And I wonder if that is is that a Jeff, or who would we,
Jessica Hatch was the one who brought.
you remember what I'm talking about?
Well, you go over.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Could you, David, would you wanna make a note, maybe get a hold of Jessica and ask her that, because they had given.
It's from Liberty Grove.
They had given us a template of some sort. As a guideline, I think you should start off that, and then we maybe take this, whatever you have.
I think that's our, was that our existing one, or is that just?
And this isn't ours, this is from Sevastopol, I think. So
Yeah.
this was a guideline that Sevastopol had. And then, and what they would give to the contractors. They, this was something that they showed, so.
But it's, we also have a right of way permit. Or a right of way guidance, when people, when we do something in our right of way. We wanted to make sure it was all taken care of properly, and that when it's disturbed, it's restored.
Right.
And that's an issue, and that's what you needed to have in the right of way, or.
Right, but I think the county one, from my understanding, was that they're not running garbage all over the place
They're trying,
and wrecking the next guy's avenue.
correct,
Of, oh, we wanna put a gas line in, but we can't, there's crap everywhere, you didn't follow what needed to be followed, you know what I mean? Now you got all this garbage in here.
well, and then you're gonna go open it, and you're gonna go in there and
Right.
put in fire.
Correct.
It's gonna be.
So I mean, I'm the reason I'm saying that is I think if we could somehow get our hands on that. I have some old paperwork from WTA Association, their
Town
annual book.
Association has stuff,
Yeah,
Town Association in their law library,
yes,
you can get stuff from there. I believe Jessica Hatch provided through those meetings over in Brussels.
yeah,
years
long
ago.
time ago.
And that was, that came out of the people up in Liberty Grove. The town of Liberty Grove. Had the right of way ordinance up there, it was directly aimed at the fiber installs.
But I'm just thinking if we could get a couple of those, we could look at it and then
Maybe this,
maybe-
one, get a couple of
Yeah,
options.
here, we like this, we don't like that, you know what, I never even thought of that.
That's exactly why we originally talked about this a couple of years ago. And then that was a byproduct of those meetings.
Right, even though this thing is 2 to 4 years down the road, at some point we wanna have it.
It might even be 2 to 4.
Well, it's up to 4, we could be first on this, we could be first on this.
Fun guy.
But that's where the information should come from. Guidance from people who've already implemented that.
So
And the town association and whatever Jessica Hatch, the broadband coordinator.
But I'll bring in what I have for WTA, if you can maybe get a hold of Jessica and see if they can come up with something or whatever they have. County line and Old Krieger Road, nothing has changed, it's still in Thad's world. They'll let me know, I call occasionally when I talk and make sure we're moving forward. The other thing is, from the road review. You guys had asked about spraying, so I had, got a bid for spraying, spraying all the town road signs, bridges and culverts for the 43.3 miles in the spring of 2026. Price includes spraying and labor. Price isn't just for spraying, not clearing out brush and debris. $3,750.50. This is from Joe Bader. Or Joe's Landscaping, who cuts our ditches and stuff.
No, just spraying for invasives or.
Weeds, no, because what happens is you can't get close to the side, right? And there's, you know, your guardrails, it's all. And then before you know it, the brush and the shrub and everything else is coming in there. He said we didn't do it for the last 2 years. I know we did it before that once or twice, and then we just kind of stopped.
No, I did, so we were talking before the meeting about, unfortunately, I mean, it's a separate issue, but once that stuff is sprayed, yes, it's dead, maybe there's no leaves, it's still eating, but there's still, brush is still there. So still gonna be blocking the sign, so is that gonna be a separate, we have to.
I would ask for a separate number.
So
I
spray
am also
and-
asking him to get us a number for some grading on our number 2 roads, right?
Right.
Some of the signage stuff, maybe gave you a number, but I wanted some other numbers.
Is he,
The pothole patching. We always had the county do the grading.
right, but are you
But
asking,
he's correct, I wanna see where those numbers come in, right, as a bid, because
could he also do something like that Maplewood and Maple Road at Schley's farm where that?
that's already that's on the list of getting done.
But can that be more like a Joe Bader fixing, or does that have to be a road? But I mean.
No,
is
that's a
that,
Joe Bader thing. You could have the county, but I struggle to get the county to come sometimes for
Lately.
whatever reasons.
It seems,
Like, I don't know if they're just short manpower or whatever, I mean,
right,
whatever.
but so he can't do, I mean. There's no illegitimate thing, him doing the road, that doesn't have to be the county or a road contract.
No,
He could put, he could rather in there and he could, okay.
yeah, so well, he is already going to be,
Right.
Right now-
That was looking at.
the emergency stuff is already well taken place. So. You know, where the road is come down, right, the county did some, we're gonna have them fix it. Sticks it a little better and then put some of that clean blacktop in there and compact it, so hopefully. The water gets beyond the road before it starts washing away on the hill over here where that big huge cut was down, right, I mean, that's all coming from him.
Down by the dam too, that was.
Yeah, he's working on all of that too, that's all his.
Big, it's bigger.
I'm gonna have, yes, he's already,
Okay.
yes, give me, get it
I
done.
think the county's overwhelmed right now,
I think so too.
all over.
I don't,
Yeah, they have a real major problem. I mean,
well, these culverts are, I mean, I don't know how the road, the water, I mean, did you see the water
That
down
one
here?
was wrong.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, that one, the culvert, when we were out last week, the culvert was blocked, but the water was still coming out from under the road.
yeah, it's washing out the base.
Right, it was actively bubbling, moving through, but not the culvert, so they.
Brand's room.
Yeah, that was it.
I think it's even worse
It
now
probably is.
since Friday.
It
It
probably
looks like
is. That's gonna come, people aren't gonna be able to get out,
Oh, you mean down on the highway here?
right, at the highway.
Yeah, I called Thad that same day. That is,
I think it's worse than
that's the
last
state,
Friday.
well, I'm sure, that's why I moved the thing out, because it's all undermined. So he said that's the state,
Water running,
And he told
water
me-
running alongside the culvert instead of through the culvert.
Right.
Under Brand's
he
room.
said they will come out sometime this week, but that's their responsibility.
Right.
But they were the bridges in, or those small, small.
They stay.
They, right, but they left the old culvert in, right, but they cut the blacktop further back, right, so it's in their section of work that they've done.
Yeah, they created problems, basically.
So I would have thought you would honestly put the water created it, but.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you would have maybe replaced that culvert since you had it all ripped out and done,
On an end or something.
would have been nice,
They did-
but it's the state, it's in the state right away, so it's the state's issue. So I guess in question to this,
I would like to see brushing of the sprayed stuff.
Right.
Sprayed kills.
well, that would have to be a separate thing though. So.
I mean,
what he's
we're
looking-
not talking, just the brushing on the signs and the bridges.
Right, right.
Etc. Right?
Yes. Well, you'd have a couple other spots off of our road review that we
That
want,
would be.
like down
Separate
over
issue.
by his
Separate
place. I
issue,
think we had one on Rosewood on the corner.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
like
And
three,
Vignes and Vignes and.
yeah, Vignes,
Carnot.
yes. Off that list. So those I'm getting a number for because that's not an emergency.
Right.
Right? The emergency ones, we're not just, you gotta get them done. The other stuff, well, that's not an emergency.
It can be done this summer.
Yeah, give me a number, let's vote on it. So I can ask him to do or add or put that with his brushing of the other thing, but
Is,
we should get this done so that he can get it done.
right, because I mean, I do that all the time with these invasives and stuff, and the problem is, and you can run into this, is you spray it. And when I'm doing it just by hand, I gotta cut it first, then spray to set stuff down and do whatever, it's a long time process. He's in a tractor, he's not gonna get out every time he cuts or sprays. and-
Some of the places don't have to.
But right, that's
It's
what
on
I'm saying.
stop sign, you have to, you know.
Right, so it's.
Yeah, they're gonna get out and spray, I don't think they're coming with a tractor, they're just,
Well, and if you're spraying by.
he's not doing it, this is something that's gonna get done in like the next 3 weeks.
Right, well, but then it does have to go back and get cut. Because otherwise the brush is there, so, I mean, let's go ahead with that, if you're wanting, if we need to vote on that or what have you, I can do that. And there you go, clean up the brush that's left, so.
Haven't had the.
Add to that, or
Yeah,
to the brush.
it'll be a separate number. I don't wanna wait another month to add,
Right, right.
I miss my window, now you might just go cut the ditch, it's too late, we're beyond our window.
Well, and once it, even if he sprays it, once it is cut, it's gonna need to be then. Continually cut, so once it's taken care of, so. You could do that, let's do that then if it's more of an emergent situation, but then make sure we get the follow. We need a.
Yep, I would need a motion.
Then I move to accept the contract renewal Bader with the spraying of the signs to minimize brush.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from David to accept the proposal from Joe's Landscape for the spraying and a second by Lauren, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. And I will sign this and get this back to him and have him give me a number to brush it out. Okay. That's all I have on roads. Payment of bills, we have all looked at the bills already.
Is there any credit card?
Yes, it's on there.
It's on there?
It's on the bottom of the first page, I believe.
So it's a check that still needs to be written out. correct?
No, it's goes, I pay it online.
Oh,
It doesn't come out till Like, I always put it after the date.
Right, that's why we always gotta,
Yeah,
so it doesn't need to be added to the motion, it's already.
right, it's already in the bills. Yep.
All right. So then I would need a motion to accept the bills as presented with the two checks, which we already okayed, so we don't even need the two checks.
That, so. I move to, pay the bills as presented.
Second.
All right, have a motion from David to pay the bills as presented and a second by Lauren, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that will carry. Discussion for the next intended meeting.
I do.
There is where we're gonna put that.
Well, I do have a potential, I just found out today that actually there's gonna be induced on Sunday. So it may not be a problem if we change our plans to go out, right? That my daughter's having a baby, so she was due and we were gonna be gone on the 18th of May. We may still be keeping those dates, so I don't mean to make you guys all worried about my schedule, because it's unfortunately vague, and I'm like a broadband people right now. So so I could, if I'm gone, then I could try this Zoom meeting. I'm almost interested in trying that.
That was no different than what Jason and Teresa did when their daughter was graduating or whatever. This way here, if you can make it, you make it, and then if you can't,
I mean, I'll be in Oregon, right? They've got internet there. I would talk to you before then about how to get on it or whatever, and they could, could you handle it being a voting law? I mean,
It's
would
on
I
the
be?
agenda.
Just
Right
click
there.
that link.
Click.
Yep.
But am I then? Is it
Absolutely.
like,
You'd be part of
like
it.
when Monica's there or something, is it like, oh, is someone online? Oh, yeah, David's there, but can I see? Well, I can talk and will I be able to, that's not Zoom, right, or is it?
That's Zoom.
Zoom, yeah.
Okay. I
And
mean,
you'll have the agenda, cause it's emailed to you.
Right. No, I'm happy.
Government email.
I mean, we could change it, but I'd like to try the Zoom thing just to get through that.
Let's do it.
We've done that before.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Yep, it worked fine.
Okay, so, and you guys don't have a problem with me being, as a voting member away?
We just gotta sit on that side of the table so we can see the screen. Right? So we can see Dave.
Well, you know,
there, if we're there, then we can see it all.
I mean, your concern was rightly stated that you don't want this to become a thing where we just say, I'll stay at home in the meeting, and that's not my intent.
No,
We, none of us want,
correct.
but for the time when we are going or something.
Yes, and it's gonna happen to all of us at some point in time.
Right,
What I don't want to have happen is, we're just not gonna have a meeting anymore, we'll all just do a Zoom thing.
right.
That's what we don't want.
And that already is an issue.
There are organizations that are operating totally in the virtual world.
Right, and I don't think, that's not frustrating,
Friends of the power.
but.
Yes, but not on the town business side of things.
No.
You want your constituents to meet and come if they want to and whatever else, right?
Which is why, again, thank you again, back for the last couple
You
times.
have extenuating circumstance,
Yeah.
and that's perfectly acceptable.
So I will talk to you a little more detail, I'll try it or something, but so I would just click that link and then I'll meet on the meeting and you can hear me and we can talk and whatever. I was sitting there 2,000 miles away, but I'd be like, I'm
Just remember though, we can mute you too.
It's never worked in the past. It's never worked in the past.
Take your phone and go in the other room, you see, connect them tonight.
Okay, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
For our border review, we gotta adjourn to a later date. Remember, we decided like June, was it 8th? As.
Do we need to call a special meeting
Yeah,
for
we
that?
have to call that.
It has to be.
It's gotta be
Within that time frame,
after April 24th
right?
and before June 10th.
Well, can't it be at that May meeting?
Next meeting.
Oh, we can do it at the May meeting, perfect. Let's do
Right,
it
can't
then.
we do it at the
Right
meeting
after.
instead of calling a special meeting?
No, we'll do it after the May meeting, if everybody's okay with it.
Yes,
And if I'm
We're good.
remote, that still works, right?
Yeah.
yes,
So if I'm still on the Zoom thing,
All we have to do is open the meeting, saying that we're adjourning it to the September 29th date.
it's very quick,
right,
What was it?
yeah, it's silly to.
right? Why charge to have a special meeting if we're already gonna have a meeting and we can make the dates?
You're having a meeting next month.
It's within that window,
This one, May
Perfect,
18th
yeah.
to the 5th,
it's within that window.
Good,
the time frame.
That's what we're doing.
yep,
Yeah.
good.
And you can call that meeting to order.
Do I need to zoom in a second meeting then if I'm gone? Cause you'll shut down some recording?
You could be an alternate on the board of review.
An alternate could be there, Jason, for example,
Jason
or,
or Larry, yeah,
Or myself.
yeah.
okay, is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
would say
there.
I can log in again, I'm just saying that I'll,
Actually,
because I'll close the meeting and then I'll lose my Zoom link.
There'll only be a written recording of the fact that we opened it and closed it.
Okay,
We won't record it.
Yeah.
What we need to record is when we're hearing testimony.
Yeah.
From.
but that's,
Any objectors.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a 5-minute meeting. It's,
Yeah.
5-minute meeting, and it's just a perfunctory.
right. No, I remember
it's
that.
a legality more than anything.
It's a legality. We have to have that meeting, setting the date.
But we can do it
at
at.
And that's all it is, period. It's a 2-minute meeting, 5-minute meeting, tops.
So you just go have your grandchild, and don't worry about it, you'll have enough other.
Let your daughter have a grandchild.
You're gonna have enough other things to deal with.
So, but I'm willing to, I think I'm interested to try that Zoom just to make sure it works.
So I'll work with you.
Yeah, I'll try.
Paul.
Do I need, is there anything you guys will need, or, I mean, I'll have the papers and stuff, but otherwise.
No, you have everything.
All right, thank you.
You'll-
So the next board meeting will be May 18th, 2026 at 6:30 PM. And then after that meeting, we will have the Board of Review meeting at the same time or directly afterward. All right, I am looking to adjourn.
Me too. I'll make a motion.
And I will second that motion to adjourn.
I have a motion from Lauren to adjourn and a second by David. Meeting is adjourned.
Aye.